Okay, Terry has asked me to go over the free circuit theory a little bit for a refresher and for the people that haven't seen it. So we're just going to go over that real quick and maybe show a couple applications and how to use it. So basically this works if you already know about the 12 meridians and where they run. Okay, so you have to have some foundation in the theory of what we do with the Kyushu Jitsu and acupuncture to make this a little bit more of an advanced theory, but it makes things actually work easier. And I was told before, years ago, if this makes sense, that the difference between a master and a student is the master does the basics, but he does them easier, and a grandmaster even simplifies it more. So he can do the same thing with less movement, but he's still doing the basics. Does that make sense? So this is one way to take the 12 channels down to 3 channels and make things easier to do when you're attempting to disable somebody. So if you're familiar with the binaural cycle, the way the energy moves in the body from meridian to meridian in 2-hour cycles throughout the day, the energy starts in the lung and moves to large intestine. And then the energy moves from large intestine to stomach, and then it moves to spleen. So this is the first circuit of the energy as it goes to the body. And all 3 circuits have the thing in common where lung 1 is here in the chest, lung 10 is here in the thumb. So the energy goes from the chest to the hand, and the large intestine, it goes from the hand to the head. Then in stomach, it goes from the head to the foot, and then spleen, it comes from the foot, and the energy comes back up to the chest. So that's one circuit of energy for the body. Does that make sense so far? All right, the second is it goes from spleen to heart, small intestine, bladder, and kidney. And again, heart 1 is up here in the chest, right below the armpit. So it goes chest to hand, small intestine goes hand to head, bladder goes from head to foot, and kidney starts on the bottom of the foot and comes up and ends kidney 27 in the chest. So it's made another circuit of energy through the body. So the third circuit is pericardium, triple warmer, gallbladder, and liver. And it does the same thing again from the chest to the hand, hand to the head, head to the foot to the chest. So we got the 3 circuits of the energy as it goes through the body throughout the day. Is anybody offended by strong language? Okay. One of the things, the way your memory works is if something's dirty or you know, cuss word or something, you remember it better. That's why 20 years after being on Okinawa, about the only thing you remember is the cuss words. That's the way your mind works. So the way I like to put it is when you have more energy in this circuit, or more energy in these meridians, and you attack them, you have more shit to fuck with. Okay? So we have more energy there, we can manipulate it more, we can do more things with it. Does that make sense? So, this first energy pass, the first energy circuit, you know the energy starts at lung at 3 a.m., 3 to 5 a.m., large intestine from 5 to 7, stomach from 7 to 9, and spleen from 9 to 11. So we got more energy in these 4 from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. With heart, small intestine, kidney, and bladder. So we got 11 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, and 5 to 7. So we got 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then we got 2 hours in pericardium, the triple warmer, the gallbladder, the liver. So we got 7 p.m. back to 3 a.m. So that's a 24-hour circuit of energy in the body, and the whole thing together is called the binaural cycle. So I've asked Terry to, because he's real good at doing bunkai and breaking down katas, to look at katas that come in sets of 3, like for example, Nahachi. Because I have a theory that perhaps Nahachi 1 is for when you're having to fight somebody in the morning, Nahachi 2, afternoon, early evening, Nahachi 3 at night. Because that's where the energy is when you're attacking those meridians. Not losing anybody? That making sense? Going too slow? All right, so one thing I learned in acupuncture school especially, so further on study I did with natural tongue acupuncture, as we know from Grandmaster Dillman's books, that lung and large intestine are both the element of metal. The lungs the inside, the large intestine the outside. So we know that they affect one another, right? So we have a connection here. Stomach and spleen are both earth. You got the yin of earth, we got the yang of earth. So these two affect one another. If you look in the acupuncture books and stuff, there's a thing called 6-channel theory. And if you look at the Chinese names of the meridians, lung is tai yin of the hand, spleen is tai yin of the foot. So there's an internal connection. When we're treating someone, we can look at it as one channel. So we have a connection there between lung and spleen, internal to the body. Large intestine is yang ming, or bright yang of the hand. Stomach is yang ming of the foot. So we got an internal connection there. So because these two are connected, these two are connected, these two are connected, and these two are connected, then we can also use these to affect one another, and we can use these to affect one another. So if you look at it simplified, this first energy pass, we can look at it as one channel or one meridian. So in George's books, we're talking about multiple hits on the same meridian, we can cause someone to pass out or be incapacitated. So instead of just having to stay on the lung channel or just stay on the large intestine channel, we can do 3 hits on any one of these 4 channels and get an effect. What we do to one will make the others more sensitive. Does that make sense? Okay. And it's the same thing with the other 2 passes. Now, one thing we got to look at too. Come up for a second. Yeah, come on up. All right, we got 2 cameras here, so we'll turn this way. You go ahead and put your left leg forward and your left arm forward. Okay, so when we're talking about where these meridians run, and this is why it's important to study the acupuncture books and see where they go to on the hand, onto the head and onto the body. But just to keep a good relation in your mind, you got large intestine running here on like the top outside of the arm, correct? Same position on the leg is stomach. These 2 are connected. Lung is like on the forward or the anterior inside of the leg, of the arm. The anterior inside portion of the leg is spleen. These 2 are connected, just like it is up here on the board. And it's the same thing. We got triple warmer on the center, on the outside, gallbladder on the center, on the outside. These 2 are connected. Small intestine is on the bottom portion of his arm. We got bladder on the back side of the leg. Pericardium is center on the inside. Liver, center on the inside. Those 2 are connected. And the same thing with heart and kidney. So if you forget what goes with what when you're trying to learn this, all you got to do is you look at where the relative position is on the arm and leg, and it shows you right there what channels are connected. Does that make sense? Okay, so knowing that triple warmer and gallbladder is connected, you can bang there and get an effect. But if you don't know that gallbladder, you have 20 points in the head, you don't know where to go next. We also got triple warmer points in the head. We got liver points on the body. Excuse me. Allergies. Then we got pericardium points on the chest. So if you're looking at the center, we got triple warmer and pericardium, or the yin and yang of fire, that portion of the arm. But they are also connected with gallbladder and liver, the yin and yang of wood, and the leg. This is all one channel. It's the center. It's ones I like to use because it's the center of the arm. So if I'm going for this channel when he's doing an attack and I miss, I'm still hitting something, right? May not have got what I wanted, but I hit something. And it's going for the center of the limbs is always easier. There's less chance of you sliding off, or less chance of you missing because you're trying to hit a moving target. Also, the reason I like these four, or the third circuit, or the third circuit of energy, is look at the time where it's most active, where we have more shit to fuck with. 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. When are you most likely to get mugged? When are you most likely to get attacked by a drunk? Or somebody trying to do a home invasion, or whatever else. It's going to be the hours of darkness, or when people are out in bars drinking. So, you know, it's useful any time of the day. It's more potent during this time of day. And I feel that's when you're going to be more likely to need your martial arts skills to defend yourself and defend your family. Is hours of darkness, and when people are out drinking, doing drugs. That make sense? Okay. So this is the one I try to study the most and do some techniques off of. Any questions so far? You go, time out.
Some water.